Scattered across all 7 seas are the UK overseas territories. The largest lies a world away from the UK mainland. The British Antarctic Territory is made up of the Antarctic Peninsula, a tongue of land that reaches north from the great southern continent, along with scattered islands offshore. It's a magical world of ice and water. At first glance, it appears sterile, but nothing could be further from the truth. These cold waters are highly productive. There's plenty of prey here for leopard seals. And some creatures migrate halfway across the globe to take advantage of these rich waters. Humpback whales swim here from their tropical calving grounds to feed. Most of the Antarctic continent is buried under ice, but here, along the peninsula, there are rock outcrops, a foothold for the Antarctic's sparse flora, mostly mosses and lichens. The mosses, though, can grow into vast cushions. Scattered along the peninsula are the research bases of several nations. Port Lockroy is a British base established during the Second World War and now a historic site. It even has a post office, sometimes called the Penguin Post Office, since it's surrounded by a colony of Gentoo penguins. The wildlife here is now protected from exploitation by international treaty, but this wasn't always the case. In the past, Antarctica's great natural abundance was ruthlessly harvested, in particular the great whales. The bones of the great whales that were slaughtered over the last century or so, they're still here, preserved in the cold. The sheer number of bones show how rich Antarctica once was. Lying 120 kilometres off the coast of the peninsula are the South Shetland Islands. Deception Island is an active volcano, covered in a mix of ash and snow. Chinstrap penguins line its black lava sand beaches. Some of the beaches are geothermal, and steam eerily swirls in the cold Antarctic air. At the other end of the chain is Elephant Island, an imposing mass of rock and ice. It too is home to large colonies of chinstrap penguins. Much of Antarctica's wildlife is recovering from past overhunting. Yet it now has a new threat to face: climate change. It's hard to believe that somewhere so remote could be impacted by the modern world. Yet Antarctica will bear the brunt of our effect on the climate. The ice of Antarctica is melting. This continent is warming faster than anywhere else in the world, and that rate of change is worse than even the most pessimistic of estimations made by scientists just a few years ago. It seems that some change here is inevitable. Is Antarctica's wildlife resilient enough to cope with a threat that's perhaps even greater than that of overhunting? Only time will tell. The Britain's Treasure Islands book explores the unique wildlife, cultures and history of all of the UK overseas territories. Visit britain''stretasureislands.com for details. In sincere thanks to Lord Ashcroft for funding the donation of one copy of the Britain's Treasure Islands book to every secondary school across the UK and her overseas territories. Thanks also to all Kickstarter backers and all sponsors and partners for making the 40 mini-documentaries possible.